Alrighty, guys, what is up? It is Jesse Bivens here. So I am back with a dieting video and a tips and tricks kind of guide. Sorry I haven't been posting as much. I've been sick for this past week. I don't know if you can tell I sound congested, but we're going to talk about dieting and how you should not be tracking the calories from your supplements. Yes, you heard that right. This is going to sound kind of controversial. Because, in order to lose weight, you have to track calories and you have to drop calories. But with that being said, so the reason why you should not be tracking your supplements calories is because, for one, your supplements should be consistent. So your creatine, your collagen peptides, your super greens with the digestive enzymes. I say creatine, collagen peptides, super greens with digestive enzymes. Now, we're not going to say protein powder because that's more of a meal replacement or meal replacement additive. Like, obviously, you're going to add your protein powder to your yogurt, and you're going to add it to your plain Greek yogurt. You're going to add it to your collagen peptide. You're going to put it in your non-fat cream cheese. You're going to put it in your milk, your coffee. But that is different because it is higher in calories and it's a meal additive or a meal replacement in most cases. But now, with supplements, you're going to keep them consistent unless you're preparing for a bodybuilding show and your coach is like, hey, we have to cut this and this and this and this supplement out at such and such time. As you guys know, I'm preparing for the bodybuilding show November 15th. Me and my coach have gotten my weight down to 200 pounds as of today. That's why I weighed in at. So we're doing pretty good. I don't know if you can tell, but I am looking leaner. Sorry for the lighting kind of shit. And I did get a haircut. But something that I would structure is, obviously my pre-workout, but I would put alongside that, obviously, if your pre-workout did not include it, the 5 grams of creatine, maybe some collagen peptides, maybe some super green digestive enzymes for the carbs and the sugars that are in it, and just for the digestibility of it. And it'll also help fuel the workout in case you do long workouts, like an hour to 2 hour workouts, adding that all together because there is calories in it, there is carbs, and there is protein. I would use collagen peptides pre-workout, or I would use them mixed in with my breakfast. So throw them into a plain Greek yogurt to make it thicker. Instead of doing 20 grams of collagen peptides, you could divide it in half, which is 40 calories. But that's just the main thing that I want to get across, is that you should keep your supplements consistent unless you and your coach agreed that you need to take them out for a photo shoot or if you're doing a show. What else? Sorry, this thing's kind of bouncy. Oh, no, stop. No. But, the only other thing that I would have to say is, for supplements, what I would recommend to keep consistent, as I said before, creatine, collagen peptides, super green digestive enzymes, beta-alanine if you take it. If you take any individual supplement compounded by itself, like let's say you add in beta-alanine by itself, or nitric oxide boosters, keep those consistent. Yes, they all have calories, but that should not matter, and you should not take those calories away from your diet. You should not add them in and be like, oh yeah, let's say you're in a 2,300 calorie diet. I would just take away the calories from my diet. I wouldn't necessarily count my supplement calories towards my diet. Because whether I'm cutting, whether I'm bulking, whether I'm maintaining, though the calories are going to change, but the supplements remain consistent. That is key. Supplements have to remain consistent so they're not a factor in measurement when it comes to losing weight and taking away calories. Because, if there's a constant, you don't have to change it. You don't have to account for it. You do to a certain extent. Like, let's say you get bloating or stomach irritation. It could be caused by supplements if you just added it in and now you're having issues. But I would, as I said, just keep your supplements consistent. You don't need to stress it. You don't need to overcomplicate it. And with that being said, I really think for most people, collagen peptides are super greens with digestive enzymes could be a game changer for some people. I have friends that take super greens, and they've gone from having very bad irritable bowel syndrome to it's manageable. Like, it's still bad. Oh yeah, but it's definitely more manageable. I know this sounds kind of weird, but I eat corn every once in a while on my diet because I'm allowed to swap stuff out. But when I eat corn, I've noticed when I don't have the super greens in there and digestive enzymes that the corn is more whole. And it's not much corn. It's like, I think, 95 grams of corn a day? And it's still whole when I don't have the digestive green enzymes in there, you know? But when I add it in there, there's almost no corn in my shit. But, yeah. Man, I mean, if you guys just keep your supplements consistent, there's no need to have them as a factor in your diet. There's no need to really track the calories, because if it's consistent, if you're taking the same pre-workout every time, the same collagen peptide, the same amount of supplements, that should be consistent whether you're bulking, cutting, or maintaining. Like creatine, I see no reason to take it out when you're cutting. Creatine it helps by storing extra water and glycogen in the muscle, which makes your muscles fuller, makes them bigger, and also helps with endurance, recovery, so on and so forth. You guys should know about creatine. I would say look into it. It's one of the most tested natural supplements out there. If you don't know about this day and age, you're living under a rock or something. But keep your fucking supplements consistent, and they're not a factor after you do that. You know. Now, just a quick summary on how I would structure my diet, and this is how I would do it. So here's how I would structure my diet. This is off the topic of supplements. Come on, stop bouncing. Come on. Okay, well, fuck it. It's gonna bounce. Sorry. But I would structure my diet like this: 1 gram per pound of body weight of protein, 1 gram of carbohydrate per pound, or 1 gram of carbohydrate per pound of body weight, for also carbs and protein. And then with your fat, I would do 0.2 to 0.4. The science recommends, if I remember correctly, it's like either 0.4, it's 0.25 to 0.4 or 0.5 times your body weight for grams of fat for proper hormone function. Now, when it comes to carbohydrate recommendation, as long as you're healthy, you're not diabetic, I would stick with a 1 gram per pound of body weight for both protein and carbohydrates. And as you're dieting, your protein should never change. Your 1 gram per pound of body weight of protein should stay the same regardless whether you're cutting, bulking, maintaining. That should stay the same. Well, it can go up a little bit when you're bulking, but if you're cutting or you're maintaining, your protein should remain the same. When you start to cut, what you should do, don't touch your fats. Your fats and your proteins are the last thing that should be fucking touched, all right? Now, you need to lower your carbs because you need protein to build muscle. You need fat for proper hormone production. There's no reason to take away the fat from your diet if that's going to cause proper hormone production. And there's a reason to take away the protein because you need that to build muscle and at least bare minimum maintain it in a cut, you know? So you don't need at all to take away your fat or your protein in a cut. Eventually, if you get low enough in a cut, eventually you might have to, but even then you can take out more carbohydrates. But the calories should primarily come from the carbohydrates. And then once you get so far low on carbohydrates, then you can start reducing your fat. As I said, bare minimum the science recommends 0.25 times your body weight in pounds, if I remember correctly. So eventually what you should do is you should get it down to where it is, your carbohydrates are so far down, like let's say you're 200 pounds like I am, 200 grams protein, 200 grams carb. Eventually when you get down, I want to say 100 grams to 80 grams of carbs, then you can slightly reduce fat to spare carbs, because fat is just tasty, but carbs and protein are going to be more satiating and fulfilling, so you feel full longer. And with that being said, we want proper hormone production. If you're natural, you kind of need that. And even if you're on PEDs and steroids, you kind of want the proper amount of fat in there to help regulate hormone function, production, and the transportation of hormones, and just every body day function. So bare minimum, I would recommend dropping your fat down to 0.25 per gram, or 0.25 times per pound of body weight, And I wouldn't go any lower than that. And then after you hit that bare minimum of required, gram per pound of body weight, when it comes to your fat, then I would cut from carbs again. And then after you hit your goal weight that you want, come up, do some maintenance, maintain for like a month, or ever depending how long. Like if you're not bodybuilding, if you're just doing it to be healthy, maintain, like let's say me, I went from 280 to 200, right? Let's say you get down from 280 to 200. Something I would do is, if I didn't have a bodybuilding show come up, and if I didn't have a coach, I would hold this 200 pound weight mark, I'd hold this 200 pound weight for 3 to 6 months. And the reason being is it would also cause a rebound effect, and not like weight gain, but it would cause a rebound effect of muscle growth. And because I've been in a deficit for so long, it would have an insulin response in the body and a hormonal response in the body, which would put me in an anabolic state scientifically. So which would cause my body to want to build muscle and hold on to muscle. And not just that, it would get rid of diet fatigue. It would help my body to recover. It would give my body more nutrients. It would allow my skin to heal. It would allow my hair to heal. It would allow the whole body to heal and get rid of a lot of diet fatigue. And what I mean by healing is it would reduce stress markers, because there is stress markers that do increase from dieting. To a certain extent, it depends on the person, but usually it's not much. Like your blood work's going to improve from being 280 to 200, let's be honest, even with a little bit of the hunger and the stress. And even then, some of that can be mitigated with taking a GLP-1 agonist. But that's for a different topic. But, after you got down from 280 to 200, you maintain anywhere from 3 months to 6 months. And then once you feel comfortable, you feel good, you've maintained that. Not just the reason why you maintain that for a long period, because it teaches you how to maintain the body weight. It teaches you of what you need to do to maintain and how you can adjust your macros back up. And it helps you and guides you in that direction. Not also that, because your calories are going to go up, you can kind of play with the food that you're eating a little bit more and come up with some cool recipes. You can come up with some cool cooking techniques. It gives you more of a range to come up with some low-calorie food options or some high-protein food options that you can create and have really good food and experiment. And you can take it, write it down, make some notes, and eventually make YouTube videos of your own on it. I have some cheesecake videos coming out that I made on my own recipe, on my own take of anabolic cheesecake. But as I said, eventually you want to come back up, and just maintain and progress. So, but that's all I have to say about supplements and a quick how I would structure my diet. Hope you guys enjoy. Like, subscribe. Sorry if this video has been kind of boring, but I'm just going off the top of my head. I'm just talking from the heart. No script. No script, none of that. Just input, my mind thinking. I've been sick. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, my eyes look bloodshot. I'm tired, sick, but hope you guys enjoy. Like, subscribe. If you have any suggestions, any recommendations on what you want me to talk about, I can give my input on it. This is all coming from my point of view. I'm not claiming to be a doctor, not claiming to be a scientist, not claiming to be a researcher. I am just me with my opinions from my experience and education and knowledge of what I've done in life and the mistakes I made. So, enjoy.